I get a lot of people, a lot of people who are married or divorced who, want to know if they file bankruptcy and don't file with their spouse, will it screw up their spouse's credit? And the short answer is no, it's not going to mess up your spouse's credit if y'all have no joint debts. But if you have joint debts with your spouse or anyone, and you file a bankruptcy, if you file bankruptcy and don't intend to keep paying that debt on time, and you intend to just either not pay it at all, or you're going to pay it through a Chapter 13 repayment plan, which usually changes the rate that you're paying the debt back, then the bank basically is not being paid according to the manner in which that you'd agreed, and that will cause them to make a negative mark on your spouse's or any co-signer's credit. But if you're filing Chapter 7 and you and your wife have a joint visa or even a joint mortgage or a car payment, and that payment is made on time when you file bankruptcy, continues to be made on time, and continues to be paid on time until it's paid off, they cannot impact your spouse's credit or your mother's credit or whomever's credit we're talking about. They can report that the co-signer for this loan has filed bankruptcy on your spouse's credit, but that's not a negative mark. But it would be illegal for them to report anything on your spouse's credit just because you filed bankruptcy if that loan is continued to be paid on time. But when you file Chapter 7, that's the normal situation where that question would come up, because your whole goal is to get rid of debts. When you file a Chapter 13, that's a repayment plan where you're restructuring all your debt. The law prevents a creditor from going after a co-signer, your spouse or grandmother or ex-wife, if you are in a Chapter 13 payment plan and making your payments. But that doesn't prevent them from going after that person when it's over, or reporting that the payments are late and behind when you're in the Chapter 13 payment plan. Another thing that comes up where this is an issue is when you're divorced and you went to family court and the court order says you are responsible for paying a certain bill and you are to hold your spouse harmless or ex-wife harmless. In that situation, the bankruptcy gets rid of your obligation to pay that credit card or whatever it is. But it cannot get rid of your obligation to your spouse, which the family court created. And so it'll be a mark on your spouse's credit that it wasn't paid, but it also, your spouse can take you to family court for not paying that debt that you were ordered to pay, even though the bankruptcy wiped out your obligation to pay it to the bank. It can't wipe out the obligation to the spouse.